transportation has many modes which have developed over time. Initially, humans walked to where they wanted to go, and from there, imagination soared to boats, horse-drawn carriages, trains, cars, planes, and even rockets. Humans have an innate curiosity to explore, and explore we have. New modes of transportation have made the earth smaller. We can now cross a country in only hours and fly around the entire world in a couple of days. Whether recreational or business, we have access to every corner of the planet, and a few have even had the opportunity to explore our universe. This earth is at our fingertips, but is all this shrinking a good thing? Some would say no. Globalization is an ongoing process in which economic interactions become increasingly geographically unrestricted. This has become a very controversial issue today. With the advancement of technology providing cheaper transport costs, it is becoming much easier to move both goods and people. This creates some problems as globalization has given way to economical instability as well as blurred the lines of cultural boundaries. Economic instability can occur as a result of globalization. Countries have become very dependent on one another for necessary resources. Because they depend so highly on each other, if one country's economy fails, it can cause a negative impact on other countries' economies as well. It works similar to a series of gears. If one gear slows down, the rest of the gears dependent upon it will slow also. This first became a major issue when industrialization began. As countries became more industrial, they needed raw materials from other countries. Increased trade led to an ever-increasing interdependency on the countries of the world, and increased trade became easier with every advance in transportation. Globalization brings cultural uniformity without leaving any scope for diversity. Some people argue that cultural unity brings peace and acceptance, but others believe that this could lead to the fading of individuality. Eventually, there will be just one global culture. New advances in transportation have allowed us to reach almost every place in the world. This has allowed people from different cultures and heritages to mix. America is a great example in that during the 17 and 1800s, people from all over immigrated to the United States. A metaphor used to describe this time was the melting pot, which meant a melting together into a common culture. At first, this was considered good, but then people realized this was not what they wanted. The ideal situation would be for different cultures to mix, but remain distinct. However, with every passing generation, they fade into one melded American culture. This is a country scale of what is happening globally due to globalization. In conclusion, it is interesting to note that transportation was and is a leading factor in globalization. We cannot go back and undo the advancement of transportation technology, nor would we want to. However, we can stress the importance of economical and cultural independence to future generations.